Howdy. So, another broadcast from Ripley's Corner. Today I'm going to bring up to you temperature changes. For parents, can my child feel temperature changes? The extreme cold, the extreme hot. When the infusion is being done, can they feel that? The answer is yes. Yes, or at least in my experience, I can feel it. Thing that is called colic. You can still get that even as an adult, as long as you have a feeding tube so that it is bypassing your esophagus, going right, in my case, because I have a GJ tube, it's going right into the J port. I can totally have colic. I have the bends if my nutrition is too cold and I haven't warmed it up by letting it sit at room temperature before trying to infuse it. Oh yeah, I can feel that, and it hurts. You feel it in your back, you double over, you try to angle and turn and twist, and it's cramping and it hurts. Too hot a liquid, it hurts, it burns. It's like drinking a hot cup of coffee or a hot cup of cocoa. It hurts. If the tube that you are using, whether or not you're using a gravity drip to infuse with, or you're using a pump to infuse with, the tube laying against your skin, you can feel that temperature change every time the pump kicks on or as you're infusing. Once you start infusing, you're constantly infusing. You're not starting and stopping. Therefore, in my experience, and again, it's just my experience, I didn't feel the temperature change nearly as much with gravity feeding. The downside with gravity feeding, though, is that as it comes in, it shoots up, and I could feel it going through my esophagus and coming back down, and I'd aspirate on it. Now, aspiration, meaning it comes back and goes straight into my lungs. Not all of it, but a good majority of it. Therefore, the coughing, the choking, the gagging, and trying to get it out. The foaming at the mouth like you have rabies, but you don't. Because of the aspiration, it's trying to come back out and up, and so you're coughing, you're gagging, and you're puking it back out. The thicker your saliva gets, the more foamier it gets. That's how you know that you're aspirating too much, which was my case. We couldn't get the set rate for the drip down. On top of that, trying to infuse while being in my chair and trying to go through appointment after appointment became very difficult, not knowing whether or not I was still eating, if we had enough gravity height going for it, because I didn't have, and I still don't have, an IV pole attached to my wheelchair. I realized quickly, and very quickly early on, I needed to switch over to the pump. At least with the pump, I can throw it in the backpack. It's a whole lot more discreet. I don't have to have the big IV pole on the back of my chair. And on top of that, I can tuck it in very discreetly, still be able to infuse, be at my appointments, be out in public. Not that I'm embarrassed with my tube, just that sometimes it can be very scary for other people, and especially for kids or for adults that have special needs. The last thing I want to do is inflict any kind of trauma onto them, onto anybody else, so therefore how I eat is completely different. I also do what's called the chew and spit method. The speech has said that this was important because we lose the taste buds and the taste of food, the sensory, the smell of it, the taste of it. We lose all that. And being part of your five senses, you kind of need to have those things. So I chew up my food, I spit it out, and I'm still getting to exercise the roof of my mouth with my tongue, so therefore my lisp isn't nearly as bad. And at the same time, I can be out in public, chew, and I use a spoon to discreetly pull out the food and flip it into a bag. So therefore, people aren't seeing me with my head in a bag, spitting it back out. I'm also able to enhance my taste buds, and the flavoring and the smells of food have become wonderful again. Temperature change, we can feel it, the bends, it's real. It happens no matter what the age is. chew and spit your food only if speech is giving you the clearance to go ahead and do so. Overall, parents, don't make a big production out of it, and your kids aren't going to freak out over it. Try to incorporate them, try to have a little bit of fun with it. It's less scary. As a mom with a stepson who has special needs, I gave my feeding tube the name Ripley because it looked like it was coming out of my chest. On top of that, if I could accept it, then that means that my stepson would be able to embrace and accept it right off the bat, which he has. So this has been fabulous for me to be able to show him these things, that this does exist, but not everybody's sad about it. Watch your temperatures, watch your rates, make sure your kids or your loved ones are at a 30 to 45 degree incline to help reduce the aspirations from it. Any other questions, concerns, moan, groans, aches, complaints, please leave it in the comments section. Together we can help educate everybody else. Thank you.